Welcome to another episode of Motivational Sundays with Kevin and friends. This show was originally created from one of the more than 300 motivational quotes that I had created for the contents of my book. With over 40 years of studying human behavior, I was always curious. Were these quotes, were they words that just kind of laid there on a page, or were there a conversation to be had? So I got together with all of my co-hosts, Danielle, Curtis, Lois, Dr. Breakthrough, Vanessa, Larnez, Gilda, and Chris, and the voice of the show, Mr. Otis Spencer. And we said, you know something? Let's see, based on their interpretations and perspective, what these quotes really mean. So each week we get together at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Someone brings in a quote that they're attached to. Today, Vanessa has brought us a quote. We're going to be talking about love, some version of it. She said, love hurts. And we'll see what that brings us. So this space was designed to not to make you comfortable, but to encourage you, to inspire you, to create a framework just to make you think. So with that said, let me go ahead and turn over the mic to that silky, smooth voice of Mr. Spencer, Otis Spencer. Otis, will you kind of bring us a quote, set up Vanessa real quick?
Certainly, certainly. Grand Rising, everyone. Happy Sunday. And we have here everyone says love hurts, but that is not true. Loneliness hurts. Rejection hurts. Losing someone hurts. Envy hurts. Everyone gets these things confused with love. But in reality, love is the only thing that in the world that covers up all the pain and makes someone feel wonderful again. Love is the only thing in the world that does not hurt. By Meša Selimović.
All right, Vanessa, how did this quote land on you? Talking about love and the pain of love.
Well, the way it landed on me, Grand Rising, first of all, I wanted to say thank you for all of you because I look forward to this every Sunday to see each one of your faces, to hear your voices, and just to get together. And we are love. And love is so powerful. And we talk about a lot of different things, but I wanted to bring it back to what everyone is always searching for. And as Kevin has taught me, if you chase things, you'll never catch it. Just let it be and let it come to you. And that brought it to me. You have to love thee to love the masses. And yes, it does hurt at times when we lose people, when, we're rejected and all those things, but we have to get over it and remember who we are and what God has given us, which is a whole bunch of love. And as a mother, I give a lot of love. And I think it's made me like a love temple. Like I exude love. And I think that's why I attract so much. Because all I want to do is love. So I think this is how it landed on me. I wanted to speak of those beautiful words, those beautiful letters, LOVE. And for us all to truly embrace and just love, whether it just be ourselves, anyone, even the little bugs. So I am a true love of life, of every aspect of the life. And I hope you all learn how to truly embrace love in yourself and for the masses. And with that, I release the mic to you all.
All right. Excuse me. Love by Vanessa. The one quote just to let you know, it says, "Stop chasing things that don't want to be caught." So for all of you lovers that are chasing something that keeps ducking and dodging you and whatever, that's not something that is ready for you. The world's got to get ready for you. That's the reason why we're talking about love today, because we got to get the world ready for you. And I'm going to tell you, the world is not ready for Dr. Breakthrough. When he talks about love, he talks about love in layers. I will tell you, my grandmother used to make a 5-layer German chocolate cake, and I love German chocolate cake. Let's see how with the icing and how many layers Dr. Breakthrough is going to put on this quote, love. How's this quote land on you, Stan?
Awesome. Well, again, the most powerful force in the world is love. And so when it says love hurts, that's not really love. Lust hurts, right? But love actually heals, and God is love. And the greatest book ever written in 1 Corinthians 13, it gives us a breakdown of that. And one thing, though, that can hurt, just so you know, when you love, is the Apostle Paul put it this way: the more abundantly I love, the less I be loved. So sometimes a person that's a true, powerful lover will hurt a little bit because the love that they're giving, they don't receive that type, right? And one of the greatest things in the world is to be in a relationship where the person that you love loves you with the intensity with which you love them. And so I talk about in my book, Kingdompreneur, 5 different aspects that I pray daily to help me, and I believe it'll help many others as well. And so the first thing I learned to do years ago is to start praying, first of all, Lord, love yourself through me. Because if God is the source of love, what I teach and believe is when love is received, then love is conceived. And so literally when I receive the love of God, John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. So when I believe and I believe and receive that love, then that love is conceived and then I give that back. So Lord, every day, love yourself through me the way you want to be loved. And then I pray, kind of like what Vanessa said, Lord, love me through myself the way I need to be loved. Because again, if the greatest book ever written says, love thy neighbor as thyself, and a lot of folks don't love themselves, then that means they can't. So I got to get my love tank filled up to be able to pour it out. And then the third thing I pray is, Lord, love Nadia through me the way she needs to be loved, physically, financially, sexually, emotionally, every area and every way that she needs and wants to be loved. And then I pray, like I did early this morning, Lord, love my children through me the way they need to be loved. And again, of course, then I close by saying, Lord, love lost souls and love my clients through me, so that when we do business, they know that they're dealing with someone who's doing what he does out of love in his heart for them. So God bless each and every one of you that share the love, true love, not the fake love.
And it is so nice to have so many warm, free giving, loving people on this platform, and to listen to your words that inspires people. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, his book, Kingdompreneur, great read. It's a must read. This is my endorsement to you, Stan. And so when we talk about everyone says love hurts, you know, I know this quote when it first came up last week. I was going through some stuff. It's changed since then. So I'm very curious to see Danielle Colvin, how this quote lands on you.
Grand Rising, everyone. This quote touched me because the name of my business is Love You More CMOS. And I intentionally put that into the name of the business because whenever my mom and I ended a conversation, I would tell her, I love you. And she would remind me that she loved me more. Some days she wanted to remind me that she loved me more. And then there were other days that it set in my heart and she reminded me that I needed to love myself more. So it echoes what I started the new year off with was I wanted to fall in love with myself again so that I can love everyone else more. And I've been practicing it and I'm seeing changes in the relationships with my friends and my family and my students. So as always, I always appreciate the dialogue here because it fuels my intention and my motivation to do better the following week. So thank you all for all of the love that you share with me because I'm giving it right back.
All right, this is so nice to be talking about love this morning when so many things are going on in the world, and we wake up and we see lack of love, but we get together with the family here. We talk about love, we're HR's nightmare here because we love everyone here. And so, with that said, Curtis Battles, I'm going to ask Otis, the voice of our show, to give the quote one more time for those of you that had just tuned in. Otis, if you don't mind.
Everyone said love hurts, but that's not true. Loneliness hurts. Rejection hurts. Losing someone hurts. Envy hurts. Everyone gets these things confused with love, but in reality, love is the only thing in the world that covers up all pain and makes someone feel wonderful again. Love is the only thing in the world that does not hurt.
All right, we're going to see how two people naturally have been born to be each other's soulmate, the creators of soulmate, when I talk about Christopher and Gilda James. I was just watching on the Discovery Channel a whole thing about Bird's Island and how these penguins, um, from day one, pick a mate and how they go through that. And I couldn't help but to think about Gilda and Christopher and how they came together. So I'm going to go ahead. This is at 1%. When I say 1%, these are two people, and it could be Stan, it could be Larnez. You guys could be the exception that has that one person through thick and thin, no matter what. That's your love. That's your love of your life. You knew from the moment that she walked into the door that that was it. And she knew from the moment she saw that man, that big Texan in that uniform standing on the dock of the bay, she goes, I'm going to go out and get my man. She roped him, hog-tied him, and brought him home. So, Christopher, I'm going to lead off with you, and then we're going to toss it over to your wife, Gilda. How does this quote land on you?
Well, Grand Rising, everyone. I didn't mean to dress like a penguin today. It's sort of a second thought. I was actually waiting for Curtis to go, but
Oh, did I miss Curtis?
well,
Yeah.
you kind of led an introduction for Curtis, and I was all ready to go. So good.
Well, you know something? Let's go ahead and rewind that and give you some thought. Curtis, you see what happens? I have a cold. I'll be honest with you guys today. I am sweating bullets over here. Curtis Battle. Why? I have to set up the two lovebirds all over again. Let me go ahead. Did you see how you just ruined my introduction?
But that was
Had to
beautiful, though. I loved it.
had to remind me. I had that all set up. I had that going in the back of my head. I had just watched this great documentary on how these two birds love each other to the day they die, whatever, and I couldn't think of anybody else. Curtis, all right, now that I've been embarrassed, how does this quote land on you?
Uh, happy
I love you,
Sunday.
by the way, Christopher. It hurts.
So happy Sunday to all. Um, this has been an amazing show so far, and I'm glad to be able to share my sense of what this quote means. So I dropped down a little further into it and had thought about the part about loneliness. So one of the things that I think you guys know that I do is I mentor young men and women of color through an organization called the 100 Black Men. And so we see these folks in our community that often are from single family, mom only. They're the people working 3 jobs. They're going through very tough times, whether it's economics or emotional. And so we provide an outlet for them to know that they're loved, whether that's through uh, taking them on a trip to try skiing and snowboarding for the first time, or introducing them and bringing speakers to lift them up. It's all about making them feel wanted, making them feel connected, making them know that there's somebody out there. So I go back to the quote that Kevin uses all the time from his grandfather: reach one, teach one. That's what we try to do. It's always about how do we touch and feel. And I have seen amazing changes in these young folks. There was a point in time when we were doing a robotics program, and I had a young man who was almost silent. We wanted everybody to stand up, tell their name and where they go to school or their age. And by the time we finished, a 3 or 4 month period, he was able to get up. He loved the program, but he would tell you his name. They had to do a group project where they talked about what the subject was, and he was a big part of it. So what I want to say is those connections we make, just like us here on this broadcast today, are so powerful, and we can feel the love exude to each other. And we want to pass that along to those that may not be able to easily accept it outside of us. That is my mic drop for today.
It's amazing. When we think about the word love, um, and I know in today's society with the internet and everything else, love becomes transactional. And many of the people that are on this platform, we kind of had love the old-fashioned way. Parents hooked us up at a family reunion. We walked into the grocery store. She was a homecoming queen, or he was a homecoming king, or whatever. Or you just happened to be that neighbor, and you walked over and said, let's spend some time together instead of swiping right, swiping left. Um, and then to see a person like Curtis that has so much extra love to give that he's pouring into individuals that look up every single day, and even though it's light, their world seems dark. And because he loves without taking, without asking for anything in return, he pulls children out of the shadows into the light and provides them with an opportunity to go ahead and love themselves, and then go ahead and spread that love to the world. And then at the same time, connecting those young people with a faith that they never had a conversation with. And once you connect your heart to a higher power, love is overflowing. So I'm going to try this one more time. You ever see the game with the squares when they have that one square in the middle, and then always the one square in the corner is the one that's got jokes? I'm going to go ahead and toss this back over to Christopher since he's so funny this morning. Go ahead, Christopher. How does this quote land on you? Don't look at Gilda. Gilda ain't got your back today.
Oh man, no, Kevin, she's got my back every day. Grand Rising again, everyone. And when I first saw this quote, I was a little dumbfounded. I said, "My goodness, couldn't we find a longer quote?" And I thought about it, and I thought about it, and a bunch of silly ideas did come to mind. And I'm not going to subject anybody to that. But it was something that Curtis said, where right in the middle of that long list, you've got loneliness. And that instantly took me back to, I guess, the first year that Gil and I were married. I may have gone over this, basically what was happening when Gil and I were married. We just had our anniversary a couple of weeks ago. We were married January 74, right? Yeah. And our original plans were to marry the summer of 75. But the Navy changed my orders to where I was going to be sent to Virginia and then assigned to a submarine the middle of 74, or the summer of 74. So we hurried our marriage. My mother never forgave me for that. She'd planned on coming out that June, but I ruined it. She may have forgave me years later, but my first deployment was the summer of 74, and we'd been married maybe 6 months. And what I experienced on that one deployment was something I never realized, I never experienced before. But it was the loneliness, it was the sadness, it was all those things about that we attribute to love that hurt. And what was the significant contrast to that was I was in the Navy, deployed on a ship full of sailors, and it's uncommon for a sailor to be married, believe it or not. The mythical belief that sailors have a girlfriend in every port, that's pretty much true. Maybe it's the uniform, maybe it's the hat, I don't know what it is, but sailors are real babe magnets. I don't know how that happened, but anyway. So I'm subjected with this, testosterone injected crew of, lifetime bachelors, and I'm missing my wife. I am sad sack missing my wife. And as Curtis pointed out, in the middle of that, I call it dialogue, where all the things that we attribute to causing love to hurt were affecting me. And in contrast, those who love themselves had themselves, and they weren't experiencing any of that. And I was really, really feeling that. My first deployment was my worst, my absolute worst. And I came back, sort of changed, but that was what that quote meant to me. And I did definitely experience what true hurt meant to be in love. And that was mine. That was my reflection. And it was funny because it took me Curtis's explanation before I actually realized that. I looked at the quote and said, I've got nothing on this quote at all. But when Curtis explained that right in the middle was the loneliness and the hurt, that was what I attributed the actual hurt to love. And that was my first deployment, Gilda and I's first separation after marriage.
What was the marriage?
Oh yeah, it was a 6-month deployment.
Yes.
Yeah, we're out for 6 months, so it was a rough deployment.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That was beautiful. And there's some Navy recruiters going to be listening to this. It's going to be cutting this clip out. It's going to be playing in the lobby while people are waiting. Yeah, Navy boys are chick magnets. We don't know how.
It's the truth. What can I say?
Kids are going to be signing up left and right. Gilda, all right. Your better half, your other half, your man, the love of your life, the other penguin in the tux here on the stage. Look, I'm going to ask you a question about this quote. Because today it seems like love seems to be transactional. How do you know when you're in love? How did you know you were in love with my man over here, James?
Well,
it was the uniform.
It had to be the uniform. It was. And the way he looked in the uniform, that was the thing that attracted me.
Right.
The attraction was that, his uniform.
He's tall as crap, so I can understand that. And I just realized on the back. So, Gilda, let's go back to the show. How does this quote land on you?
Okay. Grand rising, everyone. What I got out of it was love is often misunderstood as hurtful, but it's actually loneliness, rejection, and loss that cause pain. Love has power to heal and bring joy. That's what I got out of it.
I love that. I love that. And I apologize for not putting the background on of our friends on the show. And for those of you that are looking at it, look at that man in that hat over there. He's the tallest one out of all of us. Look at him. Even out of uniform, he just says chick magnet. I mean, I'm sorry. So with that said, we're going to go over to Miss Lois Campbell, all the way from the island. She's an island girl. And it's amazing. Anyone with an accent, no matter how you say a word, no matter if it's the worst word in the world, it is just so beautiful when they say it like that. Go ahead, put your magic on this, Lois from Jamaica.
Jamaica, man, Jamaica. Everything Ari. Everything Ari. Everything Ari. So I'm happy to be here. First and foremost, love is a verb, and verb is action. Love is as love does, and I've heard it from each and every one of you this morning. It's just beautiful, just beautiful. So we tend to conflate a lot of things with love, though, like sexual attraction, other mushy feelings, but the Bible said, if you see someone hungry, do you feed them? yeah, we say we're Christians, but I know at some part in the Bible it says that Jesus said, I was coming to your house, and someone came and knocked 3 times and they didn't open up because they were expecting a guest. They did all this fine feast and everything. And Jesus said later, I came and you did not let me in. I said, no, you didn't come. Like 3 beggars came, but that was Jesus or God coming. And it didn't show love and compassion from, you know, the person who would be like me, uh, um, a sinner waiting and expecting to see Jesus and preparing for Jesus. But each and every one of us, everyone you see every day, these are your neighbors, these are your friends. You have to show them love in order to uh, experience or receive the love from God, Jesus. So it's a little one among you, feed them. So that would make us a liar if we say, we love a person and we don't take care of them, we see them in need and we don't share what we have with them. So that's a big thing. And love doesn't have to come in monetary forms or big form. A smile that I have, I give that every day freely. It's free. So a word of encouragement, a hug, just sitting and listening to someone, and without judgment, that is love for me. So and love it doesn't usually set out to cause pain, but however, sometimes we have to make harsh decisions. Like, I work in the medical field, so if I'm walking in the street and I see a quote unquote someone who maybe a drug abuser or an alcoholic and they're asking me for money, I'm not going to give them the money to um, boost their habits, knowing that they're doing something that would make them harmful. I'm echoing. So it's just that. So I wouldn't give them the money. So do I not love them because I don't encourage their behavior? No, I think I love them because I don't encourage their behavior. So I do it out of sheer love. So my sister always says that Americans, they use the term so loosely. I love you. I love you. I say it every conversation I have, but what is love though? Are you just saying it because just to say it? I have 2 sons and they say to me every day, Mom, you teach me unconditional love. And I love that. And, that's what we should do, show it and do it. And even though it hurts sometimes we have to make corrections or adjustment to that. Peace out, Jamaica man.
Well put. Well put. Love is like a pot of gold, hard to get, hard to hold. And in today's society, for whatever reason, love is transactional. You have to earn love. But when you look at the reality of love, I think every last one of us here has brought a child into the world. And for some reason, not knowing what this child is going to do to us when they become teenagers or adults or whatever, we love that child no matter what the expectations of the world is placed on this child. We love that child no matter what drama that child has created within the household. We love that child no matter what, even though we may disagree with their decisions. We love that child. And just remember, every person that you meet on the streets, every person you meet at work is someone's child. Just remember that. Okay. So with that said, before I get too didactic, I am so glad that Vanessa brought a quote longer than the one that I brought last week. I am so glad.
I want to argue that.
Otis, if you don't mind, one more time before we go to Larnez.
Absolutely. Everyone says love hurts, but that's not true. Loneliness hurts. Rejection hurts. Losing someone hurts. Envy hurts. Everyone gets these things confused with love, but in reality, love is the only thing in this world that covers up all the pain and makes someone feel wonderful again. Love is the only thing in the world that does not hurt. And
All
how
right,
does that
Lynette.
land on you, Linus?
All right,
Yes,
Vanessa.
I saw Kevin doing it with no voice. That's I'm
Why,
sorry.
why is everyone calling me out? I already told you I'm not feeling well.
Beautiful, these
So
bloopers. I love the bloopers on our show. It's beautiful. Um, so love does not hurt. Love is the only thing that makes the hurt from all those other things bearable. When you're loved deeply, truly loved, it's like a weight is being lifted off of you. The loneliness isn't as heavy. The rejection doesn't feel like a dead end. And even a loss can be softened because love leaves a mark that doesn't fade. Love is the healer, not the hurt. It's what makes you feel safe, seen, and valued. It's not perfect. It doesn't erase the pain or stop bad things from happening, but it's the thing that makes life worth pushing through all the mess. So I love the fact that Lois said love is a verb, it's an action, right? Because the hardest thing, the hardest job that humans have on this earth is having unconditional love for self. And I know Dr. Breakthrough said, in the Bible it says, love thy neighbor as you would love thyself, but thy neighbor is not outside of you, right? Thy neighbor is your spirit self. That's the person that we continuously forsake, right? And I'm going to say person because it's a part of us, right? It's a part of our being. And when you walk into a room and you feel something about a person and you're like, nah, he wouldn't do that. What are you talking about? You got a message. You got a message from self, which is connected to God. And we go through life and we dilute these messages because everything around us is telling us not to listen to ourselves. And unfortunately, the way our brains work, every time we speak something, every time we create something, our brain's job is to discredit it. That's what it does, to prove yourself wrong. You can't do it. That's why it's there. But when you love yourself unconditionally, the magnet of love within you gets magnified and it pulls individuals that are supposed to be in your life towards you. Sometimes our lens is clouded and we can't see that they're for us, but the more you love yourself unconditionally, the more the overflow of love will come towards you. So next time you hear somebody say love hurts, is it love that's hurting or is it something else that got tangled up in what was supposed to be love? Love, real love doesn't tear you down. It builds you up. And that's something that everyone should hold on to. And that's how this hit me.
my lips were moving again, Martinez, without sound. So, we are coming to the end of our show. And how do you know that? Is when the voice and myself, we give our interpretations on the quotes today. So I know after Otis, after listening to all of this, you're going to repeat the quote one more time and give us your take on this quote. We've heard different variations, and it's amazing how one quote can have so many different emotions and different conversations on a word called love. All right. And it's something that we so overlook. So, we make love a weapon sometimes, and we don't even know that we're hurting someone until someone else tells us that they've been hurt, no matter even if the person's telling you that they've been hurt. When you talk about envy, that's the thief of joy. So, Otis, one more time with the quote. I'm going to move my lips and not say anything.
Everyone says love hurts, but that is not true. Loneliness hurts. Rejection hurts. Losing someone hurts. Envy hurts. Everyone gets these things confused with love, but in reality, love is the only thing in the world that covers up all the pain and makes someone feel wonderful again. Love is the only thing in the world that does not hurt. And after seeing this quote, made me think of the Wizard of Oz. When the wizard is sitting there giving the Tin Man his heart because he could not love. And he has said to him, as for you, my galvanized friend, you want a heart. You don't know how lucky you are not to have one. Hearts will never be practical until they are made unbreakable. A heart is not judged by how much you love, but by how much you are loved by others. And to me, like it says, losing someone hurts, being rejected by someone hurts, being rejected by the person that you love, but they don't feel the same thing for you. People you love tend to be the ones that hurt you the most. Love does not always last forever. We fall in and out of love. But the feeling of love is something that can be very amazing.
Whoa, 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 whoa. It's amazing. You know, you guys make it tough every single week to follow any of you. Dr. Breakthrough, Lois, Curtis, Danielle, Vanessa, thanks for bringing the quote. Larnez, the twins over here, the perfect couple, Gilda and James. And today you just kind of dropped the mic. And I hate walking out on the stage right after you, Otis, and try to give my interpretation of this quote. I know when the quote we originally got it, and Vanessa, thank you for giving us this quote so quickly. And it hit me at a time when the pain of love was used as a weapon, and my heart was very heavy at that time. Since then, a couple of days, they said time heals all wounds, and that's when you get to the point that you look at the fact that this saying argues love hurts as an inaccurate statement, as the pain often is associated and stemming from something like loneliness, rejection, as the quote said, envy, and that love is the only emotion that truly heals or brings happiness. And when you talk about bringing happiness, happiness has to come within your travel bag and your own luggage. It has to be in that little fanny pack that you carry on your hip. It has to be on that little, like where you hide your money when you're going in the neighborhoods that you hope they don't look. First place they look is in your shoes. But happiness comes from within themselves. And when you have someone that effectively or actively seeks out to hurt you, to betray you, to disappoint you, and then they turn around and say, I love you. Love can be a pain reliever when they sit on the stage with all you wonderful people because you give without conditions. It comes from a place of givers, not takers. And the first person you need to love is to love yourself without conditions. The misconception about this quote is that love challenges the belief that inherently causes you pain, which pain is the emotion of a disconnection of your own true love. I believe that love is a pain reliever. I believe true love has the power to heal and overcome the painful emotion of loneliness, envy, or rejection. And for me, this experience, love without condition, love without exceptions, love without self-love, love only hurts when given to someone that is connected with someone that doesn't love themselves. And loving oneself is by holding others to a condition where love is vacant and weaponized by the condition that that person's in. So when I look at this quote, give love freely with little to no expectations, and don't be surprised because when you love yourself so much that you get on a show like Motivational Sundays and you have a panel of people that love you no matter what. I am so grateful that I'm loved. I'm loved by so many. And thank you guys for coming here and spreading the love. Hopefully I made some sense. My lips were moving and some people heard me, some people didn't. Larnez. I have so much fun on this show. I love you. We're HR Nightmare. And, since the amendment of my civil rights have been changed, I have nothing to do but love, right now. So I love you guys. And to our listeners, if you're feeling in a place right now that you feel that the room is dark, I'm going to tell you it's almost 10 o'clock in the morning. Go outside and step into the light because there's someone out there waiting to receive love. There's someone out there waiting to give you love. We meet every Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you like what you heard, go to our YouTube page, RMK Productions and Network. Subscribe and follow. Hit the notification. You'll get these every single week. We are the only show that allows someone to come in and be a co-host on this show. So you are welcome. Just don't bring any drama. We don't have that, because I will tell you, Dr. Breakthrough doesn't only break bricks. He sleeps on a bed of nails. Okay. That brother sleeps on a bed of nails. Okay. There's video proof on that. And so I want to leave you. To grow, you must make some mistakes. To be confident, you must address your own anxieties. To forgive yourself, you must hold yourself accountable. Learn, you must unlearn some stuff. To exist, you have to show up and love you more. So my grandfather always says, and I'm going to turn this over to Lorna since Naheem's not here. When you get to a place where you can help someone else out, it is your duty to do so. And before I close, there was a video that I released by a guy by the name of Junior and Dr. Nahara, talking about finding the cure for sickle cell. I will ask you to watch that, to share it and whatever, because it affects all of us. All of us have some connection to it. Anyone that has tenet in their hue of their skin color, either carry the trait or living. Sickle cell is a horrible, horrible, and painful disease that affects our children. Watch the video and find someone that wants to help. So I'm going to go back in my closing statement. My grandfather said, when you get to a point that you can help someone else out, read Dr. Breakthrough's book. All right. When you get to a point that you can help someone out, look at Christopher and Gilda and look at what love has brought you. When you're looking for a point that you can help someone else out, it is your duty to go through the community like Curtis and Danielle has done, and bring community together. When you are in a position that you are able to help someone else, you find two people like Lois and the Lion Club. You like Larnez, that is helping build communities, teaching people how to write grants, and they find love. And when you do not have a voice for yourself, you find love in the voice of Silky Smooth, Otis Spencer. And so he says, reach one, teach one. And with that said, we what?
Fade to black.
All right, and we're out.
Come back.